Here we are. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to everybody for the annual parish meeting, which is held for the electors of the parish by the council. The council members, as you see, are sitting with members of the public, and this meeting is for the public, not for the council. But first of all, I would like to offer everybody here, for the people of Whitecross, our thoughts and prayers for the family, the neighbours, relatives and residents of Whitecross upon yesterday's unfolding tragic events. So I trust you all agree with me, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. Right? Yeah. Thank you. Apologies for absence. Councillor Wakeham. Questions now from the members of the public. You are invited to raise any questions to parish councillors and Cornwall councillor, who I'm afraid is absent, and any matters that concern them. Yes, please.
I don't think that this meeting was particularly well, it's not the fact this happening wasn't particularly well known. It does state in the parish council report for the April-May Lanteglos Parish News that the parish meeting will take place in WI Paul Ruan. But I'm afraid that didn't mean anything to me till my brother told me about it and explained. I would like to suggest that for the Lanteglos Parish News April-May edition next year, because presumably the annual meeting will again be in May, that something is put in about it, a little bit more detail, and also that it's written in the diary in St Saviour's, so that it can be included in the parish diary in the news, because a lot of local residents rely on that to know what's happening. It's just a suggestion. Yep. My second thing I'd like to comment on, if I may, is about, I noticed there are 3 organisations giving reports. It seems to somewhat eclectic mixture. I wondered on what basis they've been asked to give reports, or maybe others have been asked and they're the only 3 that responded. And then the third thing I'd like to comment on, the parish council, I've observed, have a number of times complained about lack of information about Paul Ruan Village Hall, despite having a representative on Paul Ruan Village Hall committee. I would have thought that a major part of Lanteglos Parish Council rep on Paul Ruan Village Hall committee was to liaise between the Paul Ruan Village Hall committee and the parish council. Perhaps the parish council would care to comment on this observation. Thank you very much.
Well, all I can say is that the parish council, being a new parish council, and have only relatively uncovered the deeds of trust and what responsibilities the council hold towards the village hall. Our village hall representative, Councillor Jolliffe, hasn't been given the set of accounts which we've asked for on 2 present occasions. It took us 2 years to get the accounts from the village hall, which should be sent by the trustees every year, a report and annual accounts as per the deeds of trust, which some person reckons there's no deed of trust. I have the deed of trust in my file here tonight, should anybody after this meeting wish to read it.
If I may say 2 things. At the annual village hall meeting, when all members of the committee present were given copies of the accounts, your representative was not present, and the secretary has certainly emailed them. I think twice, if I remember rightly, and has since been told it hasn't been received. I don't know. Obviously, it's got lost in the ether somewhere.
I'd have to ask the clerk if she's received. Have you ever received anything from the village hall?
I've received the actual old deed of trust, which I forwarded on to everybody, and I've received the names of the trustees, which we are, but not the management trustees.
And not the accounts?
Not to my knowledge. I'd have to double check that.
If I can say, I think Catherine's on about last year's accounts, because the AGM is in June. So this year's accounts won't come until the AGM, but last year's accounts you had.
The accounts are missing.
You're quite right, Keith.
The accounts are normally presented to us, according to our documents, in May.
If we have the AGM, we can hardly give you the accounts, can we, John?
Well, according to this, you have your examiner's report of the accounts done in the end of February. It's now the end of May. I should think a 3-month interlude is far ample.
The thing is though, it doesn't matter when the accounts were done, but the village hall committee have got to agree the accounts, which they do at their AGM,
Precisely.
whenever they have it, and they do have it in June. So it's soon after the meeting, once they approve the accounts, they'll be sent to the council. And as for trustees, management trustees and committee members are classed as the same thing. So there's not different lists for committee members and management trustees.
I would hope that your representative would know who the fellow committee members are.
Well, we've got a list of them now, but before we've asked for these lists, and they've never been published.
When was it you received the list? The committee?
The
That was
list-
quite a few months ago, wasn't it?
The list I received was today.
Yeah,
Today
but-
list
So
of
that's the one that she'd already sent one.
we
So
were,
then
we were
one-
asking the village hall in March,
Yes.
but we've gone past 2 meetings.
And Sonia sent it, and it was at the last meeting, it was reported that you said you hadn't got it, so she was asked to send it again,
And so this is this meeting.
presumably.
Right.
But previous to that, you've had a list in the last 12 months, there has been another list that you've received because you reported it at a council meeting within the last 12 months.
And that is up-to-date list. I'll have to check on that one because people haven't...
Yeah, but why don't you ask your representative? She knows who the fellow committee members are.
I do
Or-
know.
John, you're complaining that there's been 2 meetings without any response, whilst the parish council are, I believe, legally required to meet every month, other than I don't meet in August, I believe. The village hall committee is not committed to meet every month, and if they get certain requests and it has to be discussed by a committee, it needs to wait for another meeting.
So the question is when is the village hall committee's AGM normally take place?
I think this one's due to take place in late June or July.
So we won't get the report then
Until after that.
till August.
Well, as far as I know, the village hall and the parish council have had a liaison for quite some time. For many years, everything went well. I agree. I understand there was a hiccup a year or 2 ago, but I don't understand quite the. We're in a small community. Why can't we work together? What's all all this writing and aggravation doesn't really go down well.
Because it's as you said, we've had a complete lack of communication between us and the village hall committee since we've started.
Well,
And now we're asking for this communication. And if you agree now that you will communicate with us on a regular basis, well then the matter's closed.
Well,
surely it's the job of your representative to report back to you. What else is she supposed to do?
May I apologise that
Yes.
I haven't done that because I haven't been to a lot of meetings and I can't always pick up minutes. But I will endeavour to do so.
So what I suggest is we have a closer form of communication to us, so all this unnecessary bad feeling is put to one side.
Well, there needs
Yes,
to
are
be
you
an
saying that you
intent.
haven't always received the minutes? Because has Sonia not got your email address?
No, she has got my email address. The reason why is because I'm not always able to get access of them. And when I do actually get through to them. But there's lots of things I miss from this side as well, actually.
Can we move on now, please? Right, next item.
Could you comment on my third, on the third thing, the second thing I wrote, about the how you decided which organisations to ask to give reports?
We put it on the minutes, it's for a parish meeting. If you wish other organisations to be informed and asked, then we will put out a notice, say in March, a general notice on our website, asking all lecturers to attend,
No,
and village, and organisations.
The PCC received a request for a report. It's the first time we've ever had such a thing. And I just wondered, obviously the Paul in Blue must have had a request because they're down to give a report, and obviously Coast Watch have had such a thing because they're on the agenda. Right. But I just wonder who else you've asked. Those three seem a very eclectic mixture.
Well, the reason is the first three that sprung to mind are big organisations.
Well, what about
Age Concern?
What about Women's
Paul
Hour?
in Blue was a big organisation.
Well, the problem is for 17 years these invitations have never gone out. We're revamping the annual parish meeting.
Well, why
And so
not
this is
call
a-
the organisation?
So this is a learning curve which the clerk will write down. So the next annual parish meeting, a letter will be sent out to all organisations asking them to send a representative and a report to this meeting.
Yeah, and that would make more sense than just those three, which is very eclectic.
You know, this is a learning curve, this meeting, for all of us.
Yes, but we should have known about
We should have
Age
known about it
Concern
years,
Women's
that's
Hour.
right, yes.
Yeah,
I fully agree with you,
and
Catherine.
Women's Institute.
Yeah, we will rectify
Those
that
are well
mistake.
known.
Next question, please.
Right, I'd like to bring up the question, the matter I've raised several times on public participation. I would like to make a formal proposal, which I hope somebody will second, and then the public present will then vote on, that the previous practice of before and after parish council meetings and public participation be put back in. The majority of the current councillors fought their campaign to be elected on improving openness and transparency. I've heard, in answer to some questions, I've been told that standing orders won't let us. But I've read through standing orders, and there's nothing in standing orders which says when or how many times public party. It says that it's at the chairman's discretion, 3 minutes, etc., etc., but it doesn't say you can only have one session or you can't have more than one session. I've also been told that you've got the published agenda and any questions can be asked on that or any other questions. But there are quite often times when throughout the meeting, when it is a parish council meeting that the public are allowed to listen to but not partake, the parish council don't have information or the public have information that would be of assistance, and therefore public participation at the end, they would be able to give that information which may be of help to the parish council. So therefore I would like to make a formal proposal that the parish council look at resurrecting public participation before and at the end of parish council meetings, and I hope somebody would second that, and then the public present can have a vote on it. And
I'll
see.
second that. I'll second it.
Can I, before you vote on it, say some things as well? Because I know the councillors have always said about standing orders stopping us. But in standing orders 1D, it says members of the public are permitted to make representations, etc. Standing orders 1E, the period of time is at the chairman's discretion. There's nothing in standing orders to say that it cannot be public participation at the end of meetings. The council decided not to allow public participation at the end of meetings, which has been common practice for over 18 years. What is the reason that the council does not want input from the public? And surely comments from the public at the end of meetings could be beneficial, providing information to the council about things that have been said during the meetings. And also, as David said, there is nothing in standing orders that there cannot be public participation at the end of
Well,
meetings.
thank you very much for your questions and your proposals, but according to the Good Councillor's Guide, NALC, and no doubt when we acquire a copy of the 9th edition of Paul Claydon's Bible for Clerks, you will find that councils only run one public participation. And this is, and you've got to remember, as well as running only one public participation, there are certain comments in Paul Ruin that we've overrun the last meeting by 18 minutes. So to start entering into more public participation, we will overrun the meeting. And the final thing is, the meeting is for the council to decide, and the meeting is held in public. It's not for the public to decide what the council have at the meeting. So the council have decided that there will be one public participation at the beginning of the meeting, and each person's allowed to speak for 3 minutes. That was resolved and minuted, and you cannot go back for a minimum of 6 months.
Yes, you
Matter
can.
closed.
Yes, you can, John.
John,
You cannot.
Yes, you can.
The
Read your
matter's
standing,
closed.
No,
read your
no.
standing orders, John.
The matter is closed.
John,
Thank you.
John, this
for
is
the
a public
to
meeting.
discuss it, not just for
Right, the
you.
matter's closed. I've answered the question. We
No,
move on.
No, we
Yeah,
have,
what
I
is
made
the
a formal
question?
proposal which was seconded for the public to vote, to make a formal request for the parish council to consider
And
it.
we can make comments.
You've made your comments. I've listened. You've had your 3 minutes speak.
No,
No, there's no 3 minutes, John.
Nothing that says it's
There is
only
no
3
3 minutes. This is the public's meeting,
Not
John.
the council's.
If we're going to have a loss of tempers and
We're
people
not
listening
losing
to each
tempers.
other's sides, then I shall adjourn the meeting. Now, if you want to vote, councillors here are all members of the public.
I quite
So
agree.
if you want to vote, propose a vote, second it, and we'll have a show of
I
hands.
proposed it, it has been seconded, and I would like...
Right, show of hands in
I still
favour
want
of the
to make
vote.
comments before the
A
vote.
show of hands in
What's
favour of
the
the vote.
vote? The vote is that we have 2 sessions?
Yes.
No, the vote is, I'm proposing that the parish council
Yeah, I know.
reconsider that there's public participation
Yeah,
twice in a
yes,
meeting.
Yeah, I want to make a substantive motion after that, please.
Right.
And that is, that whichever way the vote goes, we don't revisit it again for 6 months.
That's quite correct.
Uh,
So
No.
we can take the public's formal vote. Can we have a vote, please? Show of hands for 2 public participations. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 5. How many against, please? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to 5. Vote not passed. Thank you.
Can I still say on that subject, because it is important, the advice from now, I think, or I'm pretty sure you're mistaken about the advice from now about when public participation takes place. But if you've got written advice, I would like to see it. And also, as this not revisited, you can revisit it. If you look at standing orders, I've got them here now, do you want to see them? If you look at standing orders, you can
I've looked
revisit
at
them.
them before I come out, and once a vote has been resolved, a resolution has been made, it cannot be revisited for 6 months.
With an exception, John.
No exceptions to it.
A resolution, whether affirmative or negative of the council, shall not be reversed within 6 months except either by a special motion, so it can be revisited.
A special motion of where? The council.
What is
Well,
your
the
standing,
proposal
your
by-
standing
yes.
orders, John?
You cannot.
So a special motion of the council,
Yeah,
then if the council do not wish to revisit
ah,
it, that's it.
different. If the council do not wish to revisit
Right.
it, that's up to them. But you tried to say that the council cannot revisit it, but they can if they wish to.
According to now, and according to the Good Councillor's Guide, it cannot be revisited.
Now, that is a lie, John.
Well, you have a look at the meetings. Right, can we move on, please?
Yes.
We will investigate.
Isn't it time we've finished with all this waffle now and carry on with the proper meeting? Because these gentlemen over the years have wasted so much council time, effort, and one particular man money, that we could have done a far better job as councillors, and I'm talking for a member of the public, which I usually was, we could have spent a lot more effort doing better things for the village than answering two stupid idiots that
Yeah,
constantly
can we have enough of the comments? We'll have no bad mouthing of people.
It's slander.
Mr.
That's a
Chairman,
slanderous
Right.
statement.
If we have any more of this, I shall adjourn the meeting. Now, we either talk civilly, you've made your point about the public participation, you've expressed what you want, we've had a vote, you've lost the vote, we move on now, please. Next question.
Can I just say something, John?
Right.
I would like to read what it says. Members of the public are invited to raise questions to the parish councillors and Cornwall councillor about any matters that concern them.
That's
I
right.
think it's a bit much to be ridiculed as bringing rubbish when we brought matters that concern us. I just think that is not... I would hope, particularly considering the mandate that most of you campaigned on, that you would want the public to attend, you would want the public to show an interest, and particularly you would want the parish, the people of the parish, to attend this annual parish meeting. I must say, having what we've said described as waffle and rubbish, doesn't encourage me to want to come again.
Well, thank you very
And I
much.
think I might be inclined to say to people, well, don't go, because they'll just tell you it's waffle and rubbish.
Well, thank you very much for your consideration and your comments. However, people are entitled to voice theirs. We have visited and revisited this public participation time and time again. We have heard the public's comments. You have heard the council's reply. Now we shall move on. Thank you very much. Right, next questions, please. Has anybody any more questions?
Now, in parish council minutes, do you record all of the public participation, or should you? Because at the last meeting I was at, I made 2 comments. One was recorded in the minutes, but the one statement that said that the outgoing chairman can vote for the new chairman, which the outgoing chairman did not agree with and stated a disagreement, that was not put in the minutes. Although, on seeing the draft minutes, I asked the clerk to put that in the minutes. And in standing orders number 1, a record of public participation session shall be included in the minutes. Can you give me a reason why it was not put in the minutes, and whether it was Clark's decision or the chairman's?
Right, I shall refer you to the article of Arnold Baker, Local Admin, 6th editions, and also to a sheet of paper which we passed to your clerk on how minutes are constructed. And this is by your own hand, passed to the clerk. Minutes of proceedings of the council and its committees must be kept. They are intended to be formal records of official acts and decisions, not reports, still less as verbatim reports or speeches made by the councillors. Minutes, therefore, be as short as it is consistent with clarity and accuracy, and the arguments used in the discussions need be recorded only if a decision cannot be clearly expressed in other way. Short, simple minutes are less likely to be defamatory than long reports, and that is the policy we have followed.
That is the record of the council meeting. This is public participation, which you can record. This is the only bit of public participation you've not recorded in all your minutes. And as I say, in standing orders, you say you've been recorded. And because it was a statement I made that a councillor disagreed with, I am wondering why that wasn't put in and who made the decision after I asked for it. Who made the decision to leave it out? Was it
I
clerk
made
or
the,
the
I
chairman?
made the decision in accordance with your document and with NAUC and CALC.
Well, that document,
Councillor Moore was perfectly right in her voting methods,
no,
and we do not have to record it.
we'll come to that later. You do not have to. Now, the advice from NAUC and CALC, what was that?
everybody.
No.
The advice from NAUC and CALC is quite simple.
Yeah,
You
what,
do not have to record. If it could
Right.
go in accordance
okay, yeah,
with the Local Government Act, you want it stated, Local Government Act 1972, sections 15 and 34. And that is the directions we
Yeah.
followed.
okay,
Now,
okay,
we're marching
I
on,
agree
we're
with
not here
that,
to
yeah.
start
No,
splitting words.
But you didn't answer the question, is who made the decision?
I said I did.
Yeah, now, minutes should not be the chairman's decision. The other question was why out of every bit of public participation, yeah, but why just the one?
Mr. Chairman, the minutes are draft minutes. I made the decision in accordance with all the documentation on writing minutes that we didn't have to record it.
Yeah,
So the decision's with me, it comes to draft minutes for this council at the next meeting.
yeah, I
Matter
agree
closed.
with that,
We're
but
not going any further.
I'm just asking why that's
Mr.
just
Chairman,
one bit of public
finish.
participation.
That's the end of it.
So
Do you want me to close the
is
meeting?
it a public
Right.
meeting?
Meeting closed, Chairman.